gravy on me, rain down on me. I want it to rain, Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jubilee and Chocolate Time. I wish it would rain down on me, my soul, baby, rain on me.
Good afternoon. I'm up here at the Earth Save event, a taste of health up here at Lincoln Center, and I'm here with Eric Choker and Steve Parker from Raw Dish. So, Steve, what brings you up here this afternoon?
Just getting the Raw Dish and what's going on at Taste of Health out here.
This is a great event, lots of people up here, and we see that even though it's primarily a vegetarian event, there are some living foodists up here as well, which is great. It's very interesting to see that. How's the Raw Dish newsletter going, Stephen?
The Raw Dish is coming along great. The June issue is out in stores right now. Some great articles, great calendar, great recipes. People should check it out.
And Eric, we're up here with Health Vox and Bright Eyes, and what are we doing up here today?
Well, you know, one of the things I love about the summer in New York City is always festivals going on, always street fairs, and this is such a great one. It's an annual event, and it's a vegetarian food festival, but there's a whole lot more going on here. So I say we go check it out.
Yeah, we're going to go look around. We're going to find some interesting characters for you. We'll get some little interviews, so we hope you enjoy the show. Okay, I'm here at a booth with Jeff Rogers, and Jeff has a very interesting book, Vice Cream. So tell us a little bit about this book, Jeff. What's going on with this?
Well, when I went vegan, I became vegan. I wasn't happy with how I felt on dairy foods, especially like Ben & Jerry's was the last dairy I ate. When I became vegan, I wasn't happy with the ice creams on the market that were vegan. And I realized there must be a way of making a better, richer ice cream. And I began developing these recipes.
And what sort of ingredients? Because traditionally when we see an ice cream, of course, we think of a dairy type of product. So what are you using instead of dairy?
I actually use cashew milk for most of the recipes. It's very rich, very satisfying, and I also use coconut milk and other nut milks.
Absolutely. It's really great. Now, how would a person make this? Is it made in the same way we would make a traditional ice cream, or is there any difference?
Other than milking the cows, yes. We typically blend up most of the ingredients, and we run it through an ice cream maker.
I see we have like a traditional ice cream maker here.
Okay, the basic use of this, we just put the mix that we've made inside the inner container. We close it up, and we attach this on top. This is just the crank. We lock it in there. Then we add layers of ice and salt on the way up, and then we just crank it and keep it moving. It keeps it from freezing to the side of the container, the inner container. And in about 25 minutes or so, we'll have some ice cream. Vegan ice cream. Yeah, so the simpler ones, you can have it within an hour. It's usually best to chill the initial mix before using an ice cream maker, just make it faster, but you can put it right in here and just start churning, and you'll have some ice cream soon.
See, we have different types of ice cream. We can make our favorites like strawberry ice cream very easily. We just add just the fresh strawberries.
Yes, it's possible to either just add the entire, like mashed strawberries, and blend those in, or we can actually juice them first to get a really rich strawberry sauce, and use that in the ice cream. And all fruits can be used, and yeah, it's very, very rich.
I mean, it's really great. The problems we have with mucus and with dairy and with ice creams are really a strong health concern. And this is really an excellent way to have your favorite desserts, but in a more healthy way. So, Jeff, finally, how could anybody contact you if they wanted to pick up a copy of this book?
The easiest way is through my website, vicecream.com. I also have the naughtyvegan.com, but that's the easiest one to remember. And I can ship the book out and even sign it if they want.
Great. So we all wish you a happy, healthy summer and enjoy your Vice Cream here.
All right. I'm here in front of the Moo Shoes booth. This is one of my favorite places because they have all products which are not made from animal skins, but they've got a great selection of shoes. They're made from, some of these are made from hemp with recycled tires on the other side. And these are made in Europe. They're sweatshop free, fair trade shoes, microfiber. And just beautiful, beautiful designs for people who would like to move away from leather products but don't know if there's anything that's nice out there. So they've got a great selection of things, wallets from hemp, and some fun t-shirts too with all kinds of great sayings. So you should check out their place, Moo Shoes.
So I'm here with Lauren Lockman from the Tanglewood Wellness Center down in Maryland, and Lauren is one of the featured speakers here today, and we just had a great lecture there today, Lauren, and you had some great information. And from listening to you, I felt like things fall into two categories: what we put in our body, and then the ability for the body to remove things that we don't want from our body. So at first you talked about the different types of food and that not all food is actually food, which I found very interesting. So what would you say we would really consider a true food for us as human beings?
I would say that the human body is specifically designed for a diet of primarily fruit, tender, soft, leafy greens, lettuce, young dandelion greens, baby spinach.
So where'd you get this idea? Where'd you come up with that crazy idea?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I started by looking at nature, Kevin. I was sick, and I looked at what the animals were doing and realized there was a diet for each species. If you look at our digestive tracts, they're virtually identical to the digestive tract of every other anthropoid primate, with the exception of some of the gorillas.
Right.
This is what they do. They eat mostly fruit, a little bit of green leaves, and very small amounts of soaked nuts and seeds.
Right. And they seem like they seem to live pretty well, and they look like they're pretty healthy. So you thought that would be the right sort of thing for us, perhaps, huh?
Well, as I think you know, I was motivated by being very sick.
Right.
And conventional nutrition theory had already failed me. I didn't know where to look. And so I started looking out in nature, and it made sense to me. I was trying to figure out what was most natural to my body. The law of similars says that if two species share the same digestive tract, it means they share the same diet.
Would make sense. Absolutely it would.
So it occurs to me that if we have the exact same system as these animals, we've evolved over millions of years, likely eating the same food.
Absolutely, and you look very well on it. How long have you been eating this way?
I've been eating this way for just short of 13 years.
Absolutely, and you look great. Your skin looks great, and you look very vibrant, so you must be doing something right. And I know you have the Tanglewood Wellness Center, and that sort of combines with the second part of this, cleansing the body, removing things that we don't want in our body. So how does your center and your philosophy fit in with this?
Yeah, we talk about all kinds of cleansing regimes these days. We can use herbs and clay and special drinks and so forth. I have yet to find any regime that works better than what's natural to the body.
Absolutely.
25 million species on the planet, all of them, virtually, when sick enough or badly enough injured, will lie down and stop eating. They will fast, resting completely, not moving, allowing the body to use all of its energy for cleansing and healing. And I think most people, frankly, have no clue just how big an issue this is. There was a study a couple years ago. They looked at 75 persistent environmental toxins, things like PCBs and dioxin and so forth. And what they found was that the average participant in the study carried more than 50% of these 75 toxins in their tissues.
Wow.
Having said that, even looking at what people are eating and drinking and smoking, the greatest source of toxins for the average person today are actually intermediate byproducts of cellular metabolism, or cell poop.
Right.
And this is stuff that's being created in the body all the time that we're not processing out fast enough because of the burdens that the bodies are under.
Absolutely.
So the average person is essentially full of crap.
Yeah.
And
That's very nicely put.
If we don't get rid of it, we're never going to achieve the levels of health possible.
So I may have not done a fast at any time in my life. It sounds a little bit daunting, not eating. That sounds a bit crazy. How with the Tanglewood Wellness Center, you coach people through this process?
We do. And the truth is, just being in an environment that's specifically designed for fasting, where there's a number of other clients around doing the exact same thing, with a staff that's experienced in fasts themselves. Every member of my staff, except one, started as a client. Everyone's been through the process with Tanglewood. They know what it's about. They believe in it. They've seen what happens. So they're able to help people and really understand what people are going through. The truth, though, is that most people actually have a relatively easy time. It's not so painful as people would believe. It's not so difficult as most people would believe. Things can come up. There's no question that symptoms occur when we fast. But most of the time, most people actually feel okay.
That's my experience. We're great advocates of fasting, and I found it always to be a joyous experience, especially if you can go to a center and share it with some other people that are going through it as well. It can become very, very powerful. And just really one last question. Where do you see a direction? Do you see a future for the health of people, and where do you see that going?
I like to be optimistic, so I don't think about this very often. I'm not sure. We talk about this movement, and I think what's true is that once we get involved, we see it all around us. We notice things we didn't notice before. The average person that I run into definitely has more of an awareness of raw food. Most people still have no awareness of fasting. I think we have a long way to go. But I think what's true, Kevin, is that as more and more people raise their own vibration, as the consciousness shifts, we're impacting more and more people around us.
Absolutely.
And it's been shown that when enough people get something, everybody gets it.
Absolutely.
It's this magical transformation that occurs.
And we're all part of it. We're all here today, and it's a great honor to spend some time with you, Lauren. Really one of the most progressive people you will meet in this movement, and I want to congratulate you on all the work you've done on this, and good luck in the future, man. It's
Thanks,
really
Kevin.
amazing.
Pleasure
Good luck
to
to
be
you.
here with
Good job.
Yeah, good talk.
I'm here with Karen Hartglass from Earth Save International, and they're throwing a fantastic event here today. It's called Taste of Health. So Karen, thank you for joining us. Can Can you tell us what is EarthSave International?
EarthSave is all about food and how food not only affects your health, but the health of the planet and also all the creatures around us. And what we do is we educate people about how they can make a powerful choice at every meal on how to improve their own vitality and longevity and improve the beauty and vitality of the planet, and also make it a more peaceful, less cruel place. And I find that when people start eating a plant-based diet, they get far more connected to the whole universe and everything that we're about. So it's just a very positive, happy day here, and we've had a great crowd, and the weather's always great. This is our 3rd annual event, and people are just eating a lot of great, healthy, vegan food.
You also have some music going on.
I was careful with the music I picked. All of our performers are vegetarian.
Wow.
And the music, I wanted to be entertaining and beautiful, but also not to conflict with all the other activities that are going on, so we had to have a balance.
What was the inspiration to have this event?
The first Taste of Health. Taste of Health is an EarthSave trademark name. It's our brand of food festival. And it was started in Louisville, Kentucky. We have one of our biggest chapters in Louisville, which is kind of surprising to think about. But they started the Taste of Health there, and so I knew we had to have one here. And we originally were thinking about Central Park, but I got directed over here, and this is definitely the place. I love being right here with this event. We do have monthly dinner lectures in Manhattan, so it's a lot smaller event, maybe 40, 60, 80 people will come and listen to a speaker and have a nice meal. And it's a more intimate way and a lot easier for somebody to get some good information in a short dose.
Well, congratulations on another great event. Keep it going.
I wish it would rain down on me, my soul, baby, rain on me.
I'm here to Boog with Clive Adams, and he has blue-green algae. So tell us, Clive, what are the health benefits of blue-green algae?
Well, blue-green algae, most people don't realize, but it supports the food chain. It comes from the very bottom of the food chain. It's been on the planet longer than any other food. It's about 3.8 billion years old in the fossil record. Basically, its role in nature is to provide let's say, the architectural template for nutrition for the entire food chain. It has to come from the bottom of the food chain. So nowadays, because the soils are deficient and a lot of the food is processed and losing a lot of the micronutrition, we're kind of having to return to the original primordial nutrition just to fill in all the missing blanks. Because many of the systems in our body are run by micronutrients and nobody even knows what they are. And it's all right in this blue-green algae. You can see.
Absolutely. It is quite vibrantly blue, quite extraordinary. And where does this algae come from?
It comes from Upper Klamath Lake, which is in south central Oregon. And it's a freshwater lake. It's cold water. And this particular algae is unique that it has a very high percentage of omega-3 fatty acids. It's got all 22 amino acids. And it has some unique molecules that are anti-inflammatory and also antidepressant.
Okay, that's great. And how we would do it? See, we have it here. We just mix this with water. Is it that simple?
Yeah, it's that simple. In fact, I'll show you how it looks. This is how it looks when it's dried right from the lake.
Put a few on my hand there. Oh yeah, I can see. Very flake, very fine.
Very, very dense. It's the densest form of nutrition there is.
Absolutely. And this we just mix with the water. And when would you recommend to drink it? Is it the best time of day to drink?
Actually, when you first wake up, your body's dehydrated. If you mix this with water, it actually activates the water to make the water more hydratable so you're actually able to get nutrition and water right to the cells.
becomes more permeable.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
that's really, it's very interesting. So great, we'll have a little taste of this. How could anybody contact you if they wanted to find out more about your blue-green algae?
Well, the only thing I can give you, our website is Ancient Sun, ancientsuninc.com.
That's really great. So we can all go online and check it out. I'm going to have a little taste here. So, so Alex, it was great to meet you. Cheers.
Cheers, thanks.
And here's to some blue-green algae.
Yum.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Most of us aren't going to eat that poorly, no matter what we do. I mean, we'd have to try, like he did. We'd have to make a point to eat that badly for any length of time. But the fact is, it's pretty easy to be a vegetarian or a vegan and still make relatively poor diet choices. It's pretty easy to avoid eating animal products and still eat lots of junk food. Raise your hand if you know this from first-hand experience. A few of you have had experience with this, haven't you? It's all kinds of crap out there. And a lot of people say, well, I'm most interested in the animals. We probably have a lot of people here today that are very concerned with animal rights and very concerned with whether or not it's ethical to eat animals or use them for our own purposes. And I'm right with you. I don't believe we have any right to use another species for any purpose. But if that's your primary focus, and you don't care about your own health, the question I would ask you is, how effective are you going to be at changing people's minds if you're not very healthy yourself? Because the vast majority of people who become vegetarians do it for health reasons. They do it because they want to be healthy. And that may not be your motivation, but you might want to take that into account in some of the choices you make for yourself. The bottom line is, you can create an unbelievably high level of health by making better choices. It all comes down to what you are and are not willing to do, what you're willing to choose for yourself. So many of us choose those things that are simply the easiest things. You know, we move from eating meat to eating soy products.
So Denise, how's it going today?
Absolutely fantastic.
What is going on at this booth? You got a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah, we're just sharing a sampling of what we have in our store in the Lower East Side. We just brought out a bunch of different organic cotton and hemp clothing items to share with people today. Show some people some new fashion, how the market's evolving.
For people who are not familiar with it, what is hemp?
Hemp is a weed. It's the most sustainable crop that we could use for creating everything from clothing to paper. And it's also a complete protein as a food source as well.
Wow, you can get nutrition from hemp plants. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today, and I hope that maybe they're going to rename one of the boulevards in New York as Organic Avenue. This is Eric and Denise for HealthBox.
I'm here at a very interesting booth with Carol Moon of Farm Sanctuary. So, Carol, tell us a little bit about here. This seems very seriously into animal rights. What rights do animals have on this planet?
Well, they have a right to be alive, to be free from pain, and to be appreciated for who they are.
Absolutely. And where does Farm Sanctuary come into this? What is your mission?
Well, Farm Sanctuary for the past about 16 years has been trying to change the way society views and treats farm animals. We encourage people to go vegan, to stop eating animals entirely. We have humane education programs that go out to the schools or tabling on the street, and we work legislatively and legally to help change the laws. Besides operating 2 large sanctuaries for rescued farm animals, one in upstate New York near Watkins Glen and one in California.
That's really great. And what would you say the public perception, how do people receive this information? Perhaps because a lot of people may be hearing this or reading it for the first time. What is their first reaction?
Well, I think people are shocked and horrified when they learn how animals are being treated on modern farms. Many of them just don't know about it. We've been told since we were children that meat is good for you and it's done humanely, the slaughter. But it's not the case. And many people are very open to it. A lot more people are going vegetarian and vegan these days.
Absolutely. I see we have you have numerous pamphlets here and some videos, and I know I purchased one last year, Life Behind Bars, and it's quite extraordinary. How could somebody get in contact with you if they wanted to find out some more information?
Well, probably the easiest way would be to go on the website, www.farmsanctuary.org.
Well, I want to say thank you to Carol. We really admire the work you do. We know how challenging it is, and it's so great that somebody's out there really passing on this message to a wider group. Where do you see this movement going? Do you find that there are more people getting involved these days?
Definitely. As you go just into any supermarket, you see more and more vegetarian options, more and more vegetarian and vegan restaurants popping up everywhere. People now understand what the word vegan means. It's really catching on, and
it's really great, and it's great to be a part of this here at A Taste of Health. So again, thank you very much, Carol, and good luck.
Now that the sun wants to shine, funny how the seasons change, nothing remains the same. Tears falling down my eyes, everyone's asking me why. I wish you would, I wish you could, I wanted to. I wish it would rain down on me, New York, I want it to rain. It's a hot sunny day.
Today we're up here at Lincoln Center for an Earth Save event, A Taste of Health. And I'm here with Eric Choka, and I'm here with... Oh.
With that guy over there. You could have got it, Stephen Parker. Eric Choka, Stephen Parker. Okay. We need one of those people with the...
Yeah, take two.